So I want to talk a little bit about nicotine and marijuana and the connection and what can we do. So this is hopefully going to be, at the end of the slides, the good news. What are we doing to address this, this combo and this concerning issue that's out there? First of all, nicotine, people always fight over what's the gateway drug? Oh, it's this, it's heroin, it's, all kind of competition. Nicotine actually is the primer in the brain, so that if someone were to use another substance, it doesn't cause them to go and drink, it doesn't cause them to use other substances, but if they smoke first, it's going to stick. Here's some bad news. 1 in 3 Maine high schoolers, this is on our latest MIAS data, 1 in 3 have used a vapor product. That's concerning to us. And it's the first time it's been on the survey. And here they are, so more likely to use e-cigarettes than regular cigarettes. And again, all these slides can be yours at a later date. I can send them. But again, one of the good news is that Reed Plimpton is here today, and that's really the most important thing, is that he works at CDC and is helping get more information about this. Hey, bad news, 45% of Maine high schoolers thinks marijuana use is not wrong or a little bit wrong. And this slide, you won't be able to get all of this in, but a lot of times we just think scare tactics will lead to someone not using, but there's an intention to use that's in the middle that we actually can have an impact on. Back to the survey, Reed will answer questions at the end of this. We're going to be able to ask young folks, what's in your e-cigarette? It's happening, 2017. Get on board. And we had an opportunity to do regional meetings with the Breathe Easy folks this spring with all the college campuses. We had close to 100 people come. And marijuana is on the rise, alcohol is declining, which is good news, but again, marijuana seems to be everywhere on our college campuses, which we have 37 campuses in the state. So let's talk a little bit about the fun, non-youth promoted marijuana opportunities for THC for our young folks. And here's some edibles. And whether or not it becomes legalized in November, it's here. Here's some emerging trends. Does anyone know what this means, 710? I guess there's another, I'm supposed to press something, but what this is backwards is oil, and so this is THC, and so that's the cool new 420. So when you see students, there it is. And dabs, has anyone heard of dabs? So this is when you're extracting the THC, and it makes like a nasty honey earwax if you prefer that, and you can inhale it. We taught at summer school last week, New England Institute for Addiction Studies, and there was a gal from Vermont that a young man blew his arm off doing dabs with the butane. Hey, so here's a little bit about what's marijuana doing in the brain. Is that marijuana is awesome at relaxing somebody's brain. It actually works 4 times better than your own brain is at relaxing. So you're going to start using marijuana to relax, and then actually your brain doesn't really work anymore without it. So that's concerning. So, anyone know any young people who might be sensation seekers? 24, 25. So having that is pretty common. Maybe someone will start to use, and then you add the impulsivity of using, and then it escalates. So you can see, if everyone could just touch your own prefrontal cortex, this isn't fully formed until your mid-20s. Mine is still not fully formed at 50. But the good news is, as we close before our activity, we have a fabulous marijuana work group, and there's a lot of people in this room who are part of it. So there's, and you might not get all the references. That's from Men at Work, the Vegemite sandwich from an old song. But we've created youth messaging and PSAs and a youth prezi that some people have used 30 times in their schools. So there's some key messages, and we want to thank all the people that helped get youth to be part of the piloting, the testifying last year. And this is some young folks that have been part in the southern part of the state and working on our youth messaging and promotion of some good education across the state. And finally, the last slide, I believe, is coming, and it is my brother Dave, who should be Awesome. My brother is a pediatrician in New York, part of 9 practices. He also travels around to third world countries and does cleft palate surgeries. But he was telling me that he's seeing a lot of his young patients who are using marijuana 4 or 5 times a day. These are teenagers. So one of the things we're working on is educating medical providers. So that's our new mission, is how do we educate folks about the interactions with other substances, or just the young brain and the potency